Okay, so this is Make It Real Learning, the handout fraction situations number 1. This is exercise number 5. In Arizona, heavy rainfall can raise the water level of a backyard pool. Sometimes soaking rainfall comes in interrupted periods of time. Suppose on one day the water level increased by 13/100 of an inch during one period of rain and then another 1/10 of an inch during another period of rain. By how much did the water level rise? Express your answer as a fraction and a decimal. Okay, so highlight information that we need. So one day the water level increased by 13/100 of an inch. So this is what we need. And then another day is 1/10 of an inch. Okay, and then the next step is to, I have this picture here that I'm going to show you. Let's just say this is the pool. And so one day if it increased by 13/100 of an inch of rain, so the water level will go up. Okay, let me mark it down. Okay, so this is the water level increased by 13/100 of an inch. And then I'm going to mark down another one, the 1/10 of an inch. Okay, and so the question is by how much did the water level rise? Okay, so by how much did it rise? Well, all you have to do is just to add up these two numbers, 13/100 plus 1/10. Okay, by now you should know how to get the LCD, and the LCD here between these two fractions is 100. So I'll just change the second fraction. So multiply it by 10/10. So I have 13/100 plus 10/100. 13 plus 10, that gives you 23. So the answer is 23/100 of an inch. And you also need to express that as a decimal. Okay, so which means the decimal answer here is 23/100. So 0.23. Okay, so let's finalize and write down the answer as a complete sentence. Okay, so the water level rose 23/100 or 0.23 inch. And now we can move on to number 6, which is related to number 5. This is the continuation of exercise 5. Suppose that after the rainfall, some of the water in the pool evaporated. After one day, the water level dropped by 6/25 of an inch. How much has the water level changed since its level before the first storm? Okay, from the previous problem, we know that the water level rose 23/100 of an inch after a couple days of rainfall. And now, from the problem, it says that after one day, the water level dropped by 6/25 of an inch. Okay, so I'm going to mark it on the picture here. Okay, so I don't want to give away the answer, so I'm just marking it somewhere here, not exactly showing you where it's supposed to be. So, but what I'm trying to say here in the picture is, from exercise 5, the water level increased by 23/100 of an inch. And then now here it says it went down and dropped by 6/25 of an inch. Okay, so we have to figure out the change. How much has the water level changed? And we don't really need to know the original water level at all because we are just trying to figure out the change. So you have an increase and then a decrease, and then we need to figure out the overall change in the water level. Okay, so to find out the change, I'm just going to subtract. So I'm going to do 23/100 minus 6/25. Okay, here, so the LCD is 100, so I changed the second fraction to something with a denominator of 100. So I multiply 6/25 by 4/4. So I have 23 hundredths minus 24 hundredths. Okay, so 23 minus 24 will give you -1. So this is -1 over 100. So that is our answer. Since this is a negative number, it means that the overall water level dropped. Okay, so let me write it down. Okay, so the water level dropped by 100th of an inch. And you notice that 100th here is in a positive. But when I wrote down my answer, when we did our computation, my answer was negative. But since I put the word dropped there, which indicates a negative change already, so we don't need to put 100th as a negative number. Okay, so just keep it just like this. The water level dropped 100th of an inch. Okay, and that's that.